Whoa, horse armor isn't covering Bethesda news? Is this real life? He's not going to talk about Todd Howard at all? Yes, that's right. I finally decided to branch out and talk about something different after noticing that literally 7 of my 8 videos all have Todd Howard in the thumbnail. I have a problem. So today we're talking about Empire of the Ants and why I think it sucks. First off, I want to point out the price tag of this game. It's $40. Okay? This will matter the more I dive into my review on the game. I kind of blindly bought this game on Steam after just seeing the trailer and some of the screenshots. I didn't really know what I was buying, to be honest, but I just saw an ant mosh pit and thought, wow, well, that's pretty cool. That looks awesome. Massive battles with ants against termites. It's just like that movie Ants. You know, the one about the ants? And then there's that huge battle that the ants have. That shit had me hyped when I was a kid, dude. I watched that scene as a kid, and then I went into my backyard and pretended to be an ant fighting termites, okay? I had an insane imagination. Anyway, I bought the game and booted it up and noticed that there was only like 2 modes. It was like campaign and multiplayer. This kind of confused me because like I was expecting there to be a custom battle mode where you set up your army and the enemy army and then kind of battle it out Total War style. But no, there's not that mode, so I just launched campaign because I don't think multiplayer ants would be fun. The intro is pretty cool, honestly, and I mean, it can't really get better than pretty cool because you're just an ant following a butterfly. The opening sequence is fun for like 5 minutes, and then I kind of just got TikTok brain, and I wanted to do something else. Like, my attention span is permanently damaged. I will say though that the devs did a good job on movement in this game. It felt refreshing, and like the climbing around kind of reminded me of a Spider-Man game where you climb on buildings and stuff. Also, I want to point out that the game looks really good in terms of graphics. Like, it's really good at making you feel like an ant. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. Yep. After talking to the first NPC, ant number 753, you're tasked to go and smell some stuff, okay? I excitedly used my ant sprint ability to get to the first object, which was a soccer ball, and I climbed around it for like literally 3 minutes trying to find the little blips that I needed to smell. Then I zoomed my little ant ass over to the next object, which was a pear, and did the exact same thing. Hey, remember when I said this game was $40? Yeah, you remember that? After completing these riveting tasks, I took some ant ayahuasca, and I saw a vision of a great battle that took place between the ant colony and a colony of termites. After skipping through dialogue, I went back to the ant colony excited about being able to experience the first battle. The opening title screen was pretty cool and like got me excited again for the game after sniffing pheromones for 15 fucking minutes. And seeing all the ants run around the colony was pretty cool too. Seeing all the ants on screen was giving me hope that the battles were in fact going to be epic. Some of the ants were carrying like wood and food and stuff back and forth, and it really looked like an ant colony. I mean, it's pretty impressive how they nailed that aspect of the game. Anyway, I talked to some guy named 25,590, and he was like, hey, we're kind of like f***ed, and we need you to go kill some termites for us. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, no big deal, dude. I'll go do that. I kind of skipped through more dialogue and then went to play my first battle. When you get out of the tunnel and you see the battlefield, there's immediately like a warrior unit and a gunner unit of ants. The game teaches you kind of how to move units and how to switch between them. There wasn't, to my knowledge, like a top-down view of the map where you could see better. So you had to just do this thing where your ant stands up kind of and like uses his antenna to give commands. The map also has like these raised terrain areas where you can get a better vantage point when commanding. And I was starting to realize what kind of game this is, but I'll reveal more about that later. So you kind of just like move your ants around for a little bit, like while you get the feel of the controls and everything. And it kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I was having a hard time seeing where I wanted my ants to go, and I tried getting up on high ground, and it helped a little bit. Then some firebugs came out of nowhere, and I ordered my warrior ants to attack them. I was far away, so it was kind of a bummer that I really couldn't see what was happening. The fighting looked kind of boring, so I just lost all interest in what was happening. And then I guess my guys won the fight, and like the firebugs just kind of scattered, even though they still had a lot of like numbers. That was kind of weird. Also, I kept trying to press different buttons to see if I could attack, and like nothing was working. And I was really starting to find out what kind of game this was. For the second engagement, when you take the first termite nest, I decided to stand a little bit closer to the fight and see what was happening. The animations are pretty cool. and the ants will like pick up enemies and slam them on the ground. There's also ants that will literally throw enemy bugs into the freaking stratosphere, which is kind of hilarious. But if you stand too close to the fight, you'll start to take damage, and you really can't do anything about it besides running away. Like, there's no fight mechanic at all. You just order your guys and you stand there and wait for the fight to be over. Nonetheless, I continued playing even though I was having a massive moment. You know when you're getting the feel for a new game and you're not sure what to expect, and then over time it slowly starts to set in that this isn't at all what you thought it would be? Yeah, that's how I was feeling. I kind of felt like a moron because I felt like the game was how I imagined it would be, and at the same time it wasn't at all what I thought it would be. The base upgrading was super confusing too, because you have to like hover over these icons on the ground and it's hard to tell what's what. It kind of just instructs you to build different upgrades without much help. That's just my opinion, at least. By the third fight in the first battle, I kind of just lost all interest, man. I mean, at this point, I'm starting to realize I paid $40 to watch bugs slam each other into the ground. Yeah, the visuals are super clean and the game runs nice, but there's not much game there. You know what I mean? You just instruct your ants to do something, and then you stand really far away and watch them do things from a distance. I kept trying to get closer to get a better view of what was going on, but it was just kind of boring. If this game was $15, I probably wouldn't have uninstalled it and refunded it after playing for 2 hours. And this video would probably be a positive review on how it's just a fun little ant simulator. But it's almost the price of a AAA game. It's like $20 away from a AAA game. I expected a little bit more at least. Before I talk about what I would change or what I wish the game kind of was, I want to talk about what other people said about the game. Like, yes, it's true that I played for 2 hours and then refunded it. But before I did that, I read some Steam reviews, and to my surprise, the game mostly has positive reviews. Even the positive reviews, though, criticize the game by saying things like it's dull or it gets boring quickly. I definitely should have read the reviews first before picking up the game, but like I said, I wanted to go in blind because I thought the game looked nice. And yeah, just to reinforce that point again, the game looks very nice. The art style, the graphics, like they're all really pretty, and they kind of kept me for playing as long as I did. Of course, though, pretty graphics kind of wear off and you're just left with gameplay that's just eh. The campaign mode is pretty much just hopping from mission to mission, doing the same thing. You build up defenses, gather resources, upgrade your ants, and then you watch them fight from a distance. I think the only real reason anybody would keep playing this game is for the multiplayer, if you enjoy fast-paced strategy and quick thinking, and ants. Now, here's what I imagined it would be like. I imagined it would kind of be like a colony sim with horde-style battles where you get to fight alongside your ants. I feel like this game could have been amazing if it was more steered towards that kind of colony management with a large map you try to take control of, like zones or something that you fight for against other type of insects. For example, you'd start in the corner of the map and try to take, every zone, and each zone would unlock some kind of new unit for you to use, or a new ability that would help you in battle. I feel like a top-down option for the battlefield would be really helpful too, like a little button you could toggle. It's really hard trying to see what's going on sometimes in the game because of the perspective that your character is at. I mean, you're a freaking ant. And the only way to help with this is to get to some high ground, which places you further away from the action and you're just kind of sitting there watching bugs fight. I really can't justify spending $40 on this game, dude. $15? Sure. Maybe $20. This game made me feel like I was just in the backseat of a car driven by ants. It gives you this illusion of making decisions and then slaps you with the reality that you're just looking at something pretty and impressive. And again, it is pretty and impressive and shows what Unreal can do. I never thought a game about ants would look cool, but it does. After my third battle, like my pattern recognition kicked in and I realized that it's just going to be the same thing over and over. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, that was cool, I guess. Let me get my money back. If I was 10 years old and just watched the movie Ants, I could see myself playing the out of this game. But I'm not 10, and I don't really want to watch the movie Ants. I think the developers did a really good job at what they were trying to make, but I just don't think that's something you can play for more than 10 hours unless you really like ants and strategy. And I feel like the ant strategy niche isn't very big. If I had to give this game a rating, I would just say 5 out of 10. I mean, it's very neutral, in my opinion. It doesn't feel like a game. It feels more like a click a few buttons and watch what happens simulator. And you might say, well, horse armor, that's what the game is. And again, you're paying $40 to click buttons and watch what happens. So yeah, if you enjoy ants, like a lot, and you enjoy clicking buttons and watching things happen, I'd recommend it. Otherwise, just buy some gas or something. Like, save your money. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit different from what I usually put out, so let me know what you think about it. I kind of got tired of talking about Todd, so this was kind of a nice break for me. Also, I got to play a game about ants, which I never thought I would have done that, but if you haven't subbed, please consider it because it helps me out a lot. And I'll see you soon. See ya.